I'm going to take us down a little bit of a different track.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, because you were a leader in the military, now you're a leader in the civilian world. You work with a lot of high achievers across all of that. So why do you think people who are world-class in whatever they do are paragons of passion?
That's a very interesting question. I think we found from a lot of the research, when someone clearly understands who they are instead of what they do, they're more able to show up as their full self, as their highest performing self, especially when pressure is applied to the situation. And I think that that kind of goes to speak to this anchor inside our passions, right? If you don't know what makes you you, what sets your soul on fire, right? What gives you the ability to persevere, right? Because grit is where passion and perseverance, right? In pursuit of long-term goals. And what we found is that most people think that perseverance is the hardest thing. Like, oh yeah, people know what they're passionate about, but actually it's real passion that then creates the perseverance, those challenging and long-term situations. That is the harder thing, right? People really figuring out who they are, what makes them tick, what gets them up in the morning is really a challenging and difficult thing. But when you find it, that's where like this magic happens, as I'm sure your whole podcast is resonating in this idea that when you figure that out, magic can happen, right? Like there's a spark inside of you. And so we found that the way that we kind of train that and use that self-discovery development in our mental skills training is around this idea of what is your personal philosophy? What is a way that articulates and clearly articulates who you are and what you're about, not just what you do. And as you know, I struggled with this for a portion of my career, and many military folks, many uniformed occupations struggle with it, because you wear a uniform, you're on display like, this is who I am, right? I'm a pilot, which is not true, right? Like I happen to be someone who flies airplanes, right? That's what I do, but that is not necessarily who I am. And we mix up those definitions, I think, within ourselves. And that's why I think we have a lot of veterans who struggle with separating or retiring and taking off the uniform. Our law enforcement, brothers and sisters also suffer from this, is that they feel lost because they don't really understand who they are anymore, because it was so tied to that profession and that uniform. So that's part of our work too, is helping people really figure out who they are, what that passion is, what that personal philosophy is. And that really translates and transcends across no matter what hat they're wearing. Like when I'm a mom, my passion and personal philosophy are the same as when I'm a leader or when I'm a pilot, because it's who I am, not just what I do.